Hi, today I want to show you how you can disable enable controls easily on your form. So basically there are three options to do this, or even maybe more, but these three are let's say the easiest way to control elements on your forms individually or in groups. So for this I created a very simple application where I placed individual classes or objects on the forms just outside the groups or outside the group, just simply putting them on the form itself. Then another three I put into a group, and I will show how these are behaving when you are using the different ways of working. So the easiest way, of course, is to identify each individual item separately, but when you are building a complex application, then this might be a time-consuming thing to always control each individual items um, by themselves, or basically addressing them individually. And the other thing is that, and you might make a mistake when you want to enable or disable something and you forget to do it in your code, and then the form is not behaving as you expected. So to show this how these are working, so you can use the individual identification of the controls, and you can disable these controls with a button click, or simply from the code itself, based on certain let's say status of the form. Maybe if you enter the a value to a field, then another field might be enabled as well. If the field is empty, then you might disable the rest of the elements. So you can control these elements like this, but you can also put some elements into a group, and then simply use the group to disable or enable everything which is in the box itself, or in the group itself, or outside of the group. So as you can see, I have these elements here in the group, and if I'm disabling them at once, then the whole group is disabled, including these individual items. So even if I'm clicking on them, nothing happens. But there is a third way where you can basically use this way when you want to group items, but you can't really put them into a group. You want to place them at a different location of the form, and you simply cannot create a rectangular area where you can place your grouped items. So in that cases, you can use the tag property of the controls. So as you can see, um, here in the property editor, you have a tag property, and you can set this tag property to different values, and then you can decide if you want to let's say go through of these items, and then to select which one you want to enable or disable, I mean based on the tag number. So as you can see, I have here this third button, and this third button is basically enabling and disabling all the controls here, and even it is enabling or disabling a button here on the form. So when I click on it, then the individual items would become enabled or disabled, but of course I need to set as well the values like this. Here now it was causing some issues, because of course I'm just setting the enable disable state based on the previous state, so just toggling the items. And as you can see, this toggling is working in a way that all items are toggled. But of course, if the group itself is disabled, then even if I'm enabling or disabling the individual items, that doesn't really have an effect on the group itself. So the items still remain disabled. So let's see how this looks in the code itself. So I have the items placed on the form. So as you can see that 3 items are outside the group. These are here actually, and the other 3 items are belonging to the group. And it's also visible here that these 3 items or these 3 classes linked below the group box itself. And the other thing is what you can recognize here, that I have tags on the different items, like on these items here. I have the tag number 1. The group itself is tag number 0, so this is why you have seen that when I was clicking on the button which is toggling all the tagged items, then tagged classes, then the group box was not affected by this button function. So then also here on one button I put the tag 1, and all the other 3 objects here had also tag 1. The group box or the group button and the toggle button was tag 0, so these were not affected by the function. So when I was clicking on the disable object click, so which was basically enabling and disabling the individual items, you can see that I had to set each individual classes, the edit one, the checkbox one, and the radio button one. So these which were not grouped, individually addressed by the disable and enable toggle code, let's say. If I was using the group, then it was enough to basically toggle the enable state of this group, and all items which was below or which were below the group box itself became enabled or disabled in one step. So it is much easier to handle, because then I just need to set one of the items, and then of course all the linked items are enabled or disabled. Basically, the idea behind the tagging of the objects, like when I was tagging the individual objects to tag 1, and I could create many groups, because I can tag these items to different numbers. Then I can use a code, of course, to toggle these items. But because these items are, or these classes are all different classes, um, to address them, either you make a casting to these items, and you use an if statement or any other solution to cast the item to the right class type. I was using a different approach here, and actually I created a procedure, the toggle all tagged procedure, and as you can see in this procedure, I was basically going through the components of the T-form object with the component count and property. So basically this telling to the for loop that how many components are linked to the form itself, and this also including the subcomponents of a group, for example. So it doesn't really matter if these components are below another component or linked to another component to a second level. All the components are basically can be addressed via the components property. So the for loop is going through this, having the number, and from the components array, you can get if this component is a T control component or something else. And The T control components are those components which are visually available on the screen itself. So, for example, a database object is not a T control. So, um, you can basically check if these controls are the right controls what you want to have or want to address with the enable or disabled status. So here the if statement is checking if the component actual component is a T control. If it is a T control, then you can check the tag itself, and here I was using only the tag one. If you would like to use several tags, then of course you can also uh, uh, pass a variable over to the procedure, telling to the procedure that which tag you want to disable or enable, or even you can create two different properties to enable or also to disable, or you can also use a variable to tell which state you would like to give to these controls. So once I am at tag one component, then I need to basically tell to the system or cast to the code the component itself to a T control component to be able to link the or use the enabled property and set the enabled property uh, to a state what I want. And in my case, I was just toggling the actual state of the component. So basically, that's all. If you want to create your own solution, of course you can think about other solutions as well. I was just wanted to show some options how you can make this simple actions on different ways, and basically you can select which one is fitting for your application in your case. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if so, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And with this, I wish you happy coding, and see you next time.